The first step is maybe then to simply notice where we've gone numb and or maybe even overly comfortable. The warrior wakes up, I think, for me, when something sacred is worth defending, like our peace, our integrity, our relationship with maybe a higher power of sorts, or family member, or even our own healing. So maybe a good way to start would be to ask yourself, where in my life have I stopped showing up with courage? And it's not about picking a fight, it's about reclaiming that inner strength through maybe some small acts of discipline and stacking those small acts of discipline on top of an already well-formed ritual practice or following through, even when I don't feel like it, because I don't always feel like doing what's right.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you got nothing else out of this, if it made you start waking up and reflecting about where you need to do more boundary work, that would be well worthwhile. Because so much of our communication is done from the victim, persecutor, rescuer place. We don't have the capacity to ask for our needs, so we feel victim, and then we want somebody to rescue us. And when people don't rescue us, we go into persecutor. And there's almost nothing I can't trace to that triangle. It's a very simple model, but the antidote is to get into the adult, and that means very frequently highly connecting with and developing your warrior, because you're going to have to learn how to say no. You're going to have to learn how to protect that sacred, even if it's your peace of mind. And so when you find yourself in a pattern of saying yes to something you really don't, it's not good for you or you don't want to do, you've got to learn how to say no. Just as the addict has to learn how to say no to the urge to go to the liquor store or the dope dealer, you also have to say no to the over busyness. You know, when your work wants you to be on call 24/7, you have to learn to say no. I stop at 5. That's what I'm paid for. That's I've given you plenty. This is a good deal, but I protect my space. I don't need to do business 24/7. So all this, revolves around the idea that we have developmental processes we need to be facing, and that it is in fact the task of our culture to help us with that. If we leave it to the therapist or the professionals, that's not going to work. Because a lot of people don't know about this. This is not therapy. This is just what we should be doing as humans to help each other develop, and especially young people, which we're kind of wholesale abandoning in this sensibility when we don't. Now we have generations of people who have no connection to initiation.